Meanwhile, Fox News is, and you could see them. It's fascinating to see them flail around for this. And I'm just wondering how this comes around to Biden. It will eventually. I mean, none of this stuff. I will say one of the things that makes me feel like there's going to be an opportunity for Joe Biden to beat Trump is the inability of the right to really build. And again, like I've said in the past, I don't think there is a huge constituency of people who are going to vote based upon the Tara Reade allegations. I'm not even convinced that even the ones who are convinced that it's true will refrain from voting against Trump in that situation.
I don't think it's going to change that many people's minds who've already made their minds up.
Agree totally. And there's been no project that I've seen yet from the right that is going to be effective in suppressing, or that I've seen so far, in suppressing the vote for suppressing Biden's vote, like in the way that corruption and just sort of like general disgust at politicians was deployed against Clinton, right? Because the idea is not that Trump is better. The idea is that they're both equally bad. And therefore, it's like, I don't want to engage in voting because they're both equally bad. Here is Fox basically, again, sort of like, and we heard this morning, right? On Fox, they start off with Brian Kilmeade saying it's going to be 2020 is going to be Obama versus Trump. And it's almost like they can't find the thing that's going to stick on Biden. And so they want to sort of reorient this towards like, maybe they think they can fire up the racism machine. I'm not sure. It's possible. But here is Ed Henry and Jim Jordan also carrying that same water.
In terms of pushing this forward.
I just feel this is important. This is not a segment on how Jim Jordan repeatedly ignored the pleas of the students he was coaching who were wrestling that a sexual molester was preying on them as he was assistant coach. I just want to make that clear. This segment is not asking Jim Jordan about that. I don't know why they wouldn't ask him about that, but that it's not. I just, in case there was any confusion. Go ahead.
In terms of pushing this forward and getting more information, as you say, and accountability, how high up did all of this go in the Obama administration? Rick Grinnell, I want to show the video. I was tipped off yesterday that he was headed to the Justice Department late yesterday afternoon. He's got a satchel in his hand. I'm told there are documents in there he was bringing to the Attorney General, William Barr. We don't know exactly what's in there, but there are people around this case suggesting that maybe, as the acting DNI, Rick Grinnell has seen some documents that suggest Sally Yates and others were saying privately that Barack Obama knew about a lot of this with Michael Flynn a lot earlier than we know. What do you know? What do you think's in there?
Yeah, look, I don't know either. Let's hope they all get to the bottom of this. That is what John Durham has been charged to do by the Attorney General of the United States. So, look, we expect some completion of that investigation this summer, and we look forward to seeing it. But as
this is suggesting that Obama knew that there was no Trump-Russia collusion when he was in office. Now, I don't know how intimately involved in the investigation Obama was. They, of course, were trying to get McConnell on board in, I think it was October, to just everybody say, like, the Russians are interfering with the election. People should just be aware of it. McConnell said, if you do that, I will make a political crap show out of the whole thing. But they are going to try and make this about. And what's amazing to me is, who do they think their audience is? Like, is this just, if they are having to, this is what I find encouraging. They are spending their time creating conspiracy theories that are geared towards driving their own vote out. as opposed to conspiracy theories that are geared towards suppressing Biden's vote. And maybe with Clinton, it was a twofer at the time, but this doesn't feel like that, right? I mean, do you think there's anybody, Jamie, who is planning on voting for Biden who would be like, Obama knew that there was that the Russiagate was a hoax, therefore I'm voting for Trump, or I'm not going to vote for Biden? I just don't think that's an equation, right? That's going to work.
No, absolutely not.
Isn't
This
the
is
most
a suppression tactic, isn't it?
But is it a suppressing?
I don't think so. Like they're trying to turn
That's
out
their
their own
bet.
base with this, the same way that the Democrats do with the
Yeah.
Russia stuff. And on both sides of it, I don't think that many people care.
Yeah, rally around the general is not a very good appeal, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but I do think it's an appeal for them.
Right.
I think it appeals to the Trump voter, right? Like this is the aggrievement thing. All of this has been unfair. I am unjustly maligned, which means that you are unjustly maligned, and they are attacking the military, in the form of Flynn, which means they're attacking you. That's not suppression. That is trying to drive their own voters out. And that suggests to me that that's where they see a problem. Like right now, what they should be doing, it seems to me, is they should be building. Now, with Clinton, it was both, because the Clinton hatred was so strong on the right that they could both suppress the vote for Clinton and drive out their own voters based upon Clinton hatred. But I just don't see that here. Like, I don't think there's anybody in the pool of people who would contemplate voting for Joe Biden right now, who, like, if presented with the information that Joe Biden must have known what Barack Obama clearly knew, that Donald Trump was not involved at Russia at all, that people are going to be like, I can't vote for this guy.
Yeah, I mean, isn't the more likely reason that there'd be a paper trail from the Obama era about Michael Flynn that he was just a lunatic and like people were concerned about him? Like he was a fabulist and like got edged out of DIA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there was all sorts of problems with him. And then and people forget the investigation about Trump and Russia did not kick into gear until Comey was fired. And Trump said that this will get rid of the Russia investigation. I mean, that's what triggered it.
I mean, to some degree, maybe this is just the byproduct or the result of having so much coverage on Lisa Page and Strzok and this whole counter narrative of the deep state that they've finally bought their own, crap at the end of the day.
Right.
And they think it's more important than it is to the average voter.
I think that's the case, or they just like they are feeling like they need to shore up their own peeps.